So actually, I have one friend who was going through a lot of trouble in his life. At the same time, he was having pain in his body, like pain in his hands, shoulder, chest. He was taking a lot of medication, but उससे कोई result ही नहीं निकल रहा था.
We hear this word a lot nowadays, mindfulness, mindfulness. So क्या है
True, true.
mindfulness?
Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast from the series of mental health. Today we have our guest Madhu Thapliyal, who is a practicing psychologist in Mumbai, Thane, and she holds a master's degree in biochemistry and a master's degree in psychology. Welcome, ma'am, to my channel.
Hi Shivam, thank you for having me over here today.
Now, slowly, a lot of people are showing concern towards mental health, but still, in our society, they are surrounded with a lot of confusion regarding mental health. So, through this video, we will try to address those myths and confusion.
Yes, definitely.
So my first question will be, what do we exactly mean by mental health?
Okay. So according to the World Health Organization, the exact definition of mental health is it's a state of well-being that enables a person to cope with stress of life, to be able to realize their abilities and understand what they need to learn. So learn skills, work well, and then contribute to the society. See, life is not a straight line. There are very ups and downs in life. So when a challenge occurs in life, when a challenging situation comes, how you cope with that, the stress at that time, that you understand what are your strengths, your weaknesses, and that's how you are able to cope with that stress at that time. Then if you realize you're missing something to handle it, then you're able to learn about that weakness, then work well. So at different phases of life you have different work or study or work, earn money, have a family. So this is how you learn, and also then you learn to contribute to their society. So mental health shapes our thinking, our understanding, how we understand a situation, our mood, then how we behave at that time, how we interact with the people around us. And it's
True.
also learning how to cope with stress. So it's a vital part of our life from infancy to adulthood, from the time we are born to our adulthood stage. And in short, we can say it's the emotional, our psychological, and social well being that helps us to
True.
maintain balance between our cognition, that is our thinking, our perception, that is our understanding of the situation, and our behavior, that is how we act out.
Lots of people confused within the term mental health and mental illness. So what's the difference between those things?
So we just heard what is mental health. Now, what that is the well-being of a person, and mental illness is when there's certain dysfunction or improper functioning of our minds. So
Okay.
this is known as, it causes certain illness, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily the severe illness. It could be, it's a spectrum, so it can be from mild to severe stage. And
Okay.
this is how, when we note, and how we will know, we may notice change in our mood, in our behavior, and in our actions, how we interact with the people around. And one thing that there's nothing to be ashamed of, mental illness. It's just medical, how medically, when we have a medical problem, physical issue in the body,
Hmm.
it's the same way we may have some initial problem in the mind, that's of thinking, behaving.
Who are the professional who works under this field?
Psychologists are professionals who have studied psychology, that is about the human mind and the behavior. So when a person comes to a psychologist, we do a assessment, that is a series of tests, and we assess and find out what the person is ailing from, and then we help them in healing them with counseling, therapy, various
Hmm.
steps, And if during the assessment we find that the person needs, he's in a little higher scale of severe scale of some issue, then we refer them to a psychiatrist. So
Okay.
psychiatrists are medical doctors, MBBS, who have specialized in psychiatry, that is mind. So they are also look at your assessment that you've done, or they will then do their own diagnosis
Hmm.
and find out what the person is suffering from exactly, okay, and do the proper treatment. So if they feel the person needs medication, psychiatrist is the only person who can prescribe medicines, and they may do some therapy or counseling for the person. Talk therapy also it's called for the patients. And normally psychologists, psychiatrists, they refer patients to each other, and they also work together sometimes in the healing journey of the person. So sometimes it may take time. And then there are counselors. They have a different training and approach. So counselors help the person in by asking them various questions of their past, with what the issue they have come with, and then they do emotional counseling further. Normally, these are the professionals you can go to in the field of mental illness.
But who are coaches and what are their role in the field of mental health?
Okay, coach is a person who helps a client to achieve their goal when they have certain, they want to reach somewhere from here, they want to reach higher. So to help them achieve their goal with a sense of purpose and motivation. And they can also help to improve your goal related focus and performance. Now, by helping you evaluate what's holding you back in life, what are your hurdles that you're facing and how to overcome them to reach towards a fulfilling life. And one way or other, all are related with the field of mental health, that is well-being. But only you saw that psychiatrists and psychologists are qualified to help with mental illnesses.
So I would like to ask you, what are the early signs of mental health struggles?
See, if you have a person, a close dear friend or a family member who's struggling with some mental health issue, so you can look out for that. Normally, you'll see them withdrawing from their friends, family, and colleagues if they're working, from their work colleagues, or they will stop doing activities they enjoyed doing. Okay? Then they may start sleeping too much or too little, or they start eating erratically, either too much or too little, or just don't eat, very erratic eating. Then they are always like in a very low energy state, always confused. Then you may see them taking to substance abuse like excessive alcohol use or tobacco, smoking too much, sometimes drugs, to indulge in drugs. And also, you will see that they keep having persistent thoughts and recurring memories. You keep talking about the same thought which is coming in their mind all the time and bothering. Or they're thinking of causing harm to self or to others. Then they may be hearing voices. They may become or have delusions, experience delusions. Delusions are like, something in their belief system that they get confused what is real and what is not so real. This is in short what you mean by delusion. That's it. So we have to keep looking for these signs and symptoms among our dear ones.
It was very informative, ma'am. So actually, I have one friend who was going through a lot of trouble in his life. At the same time, he was having pain in his body, like pain in his hands, shoulder, chest. He was taking a lot of medication, but उससे कोई result ही नहीं निकल रहा था. Then afterward, it was found that due to his stress, he was going through those sort of issues. So, are there any connection between our mind and our body?
Oh, definitely. The connection, it's very real. They are part of one. oneself, right? Body and mind. And it can significantly impact one part can affect the other. And see, our body, we have in our minds certain neuromodulators, or like we say, transmitters, also neurotransmitters or hormones, which are there within us, everyone, but they vary in the quantity it is produced. And this helps us to control our mental health of our daily lives, how we feel, our mood, and our mental health is controlled by these neuromodulators, neurotransmitters, or for example, these have heard terms like dopamine, yeah, serotonin, endorphins, oxytocin, yeah. So these help in the movement and the motivation, the drive, the focus that we have in our lives every day, and also how good we feel, the happy feeling, the feel good factor, or जब pain होता है, so how it endorphins, they help reduce the pain. This is called the painkiller of the body. It is there in the body, produced in the mind, and which regulates our thinking, our mood, and therefore affects our behavior, how we act in the world, interact. So everything is related with our thoughts, with our feelings, and our actions, our behavior.
So there are a lot of people who are struggling through a mental health problem, but हमारे सोसाइटी में ऐसी क्या बैरियर्स है जिसकी वजह से वो मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स को सीख नहीं कर पाते हैं?
See, we have lot of stigma in our society. The stigma around mental health affects the people's willingness to seek help. And it means lack of mental health literacy, even the affiliate stigmas, like affiliate stigma, matlab, like sometimes even the parents are unwilling to seek help for their children. कि लोग क्या कहेंगे? They fear losing their jobs. So we need more literacy, education around this area, education of the general public, how to be compassionate and empathetic, understand the people who are suffering. Only over about 60% of people go to seek help. That also when it starts affecting their daily life, then they will go.
But what are the steps we can take to reduce stigmas?
Educate the public. So we can start this education at the school level and at college level. Because every phase of life, people go through different issues. So how at school level we can give emphasis on the mind-body connection and work at a prevention stage. Then in the college level, we can also help the adolescents and the young adults how they can have peer groups, peer support systems, also that involve the students, patients, the mental health professionals, all the general public, the caregivers in the society, involve them in spreading more awareness and prevention programs, then also give them opportunity to speak about their own experiences and related to mental illness. Then we can form general platforms where, like school, college, clubs, hospitals, orphanage, where we give them platform for creative expression. And they can be more involved on a regular basis. Let it not be a one time in the year event like we have organized on Mental Health Day, just went October 10th. Let be a regular part of life. So we can have first aid training programs for mental health, training in suicide prevention. It has become like a global pandemic now.
True.
And so creating a very compassionate, empathetic and understanding society would go a long way in helping spread awareness and prevent the stigma around. There are a lot of myths surrounding mental health. Make the general public more aware of that. It's the way we can reduce the stigma.
There are lots of myths and misconceptions around mental health. Could you clarify? I have noted on few of them. The first myth is mental health issues are not common.
This is a myth. They are common and can affect anyone.
Does age play any role in it?
Not really. See, age, gender, socioeconomic status, it can have some effect. It does, socioeconomic status does play a role. but it can affect anyone at any time, any phase of life. If like young adults, we see are very prone to depression, then anxiety now it's overtaking depression. There are a lot of we hear substance abuse cases, uh, uh, suicide. So in young adults, and all this is because of the changing lifestyles. Yeah,
Hmm.
there always the pressure to fit in with the social media. Then there's also lack of adequate support system, awareness, even in workplace. Then also some coming from dysfunctional family backgrounds. We need to see what is the environment. But we see a lot in a very elderly population, the senior society. So this is because there's a cognitive decline at that particular age, and because of that, it comes with its own issues, memory loss, which can cause frustration, the ability to think, the very dependent, any age group can be affected.
Second myth is all the mental illness are same.
No, this is a myth also. They are very diverse. All of them are diverse, and they need very tailored therapies for approaching how to approach a person with their issues.
And the third is mental health illness can be treated only by using medicines.
No, this is also a myth. There's a treatment plan. So if it's in the mild stage or medium stage, we may not need medicine. So it depends on when the person is seeing a professional and seeking help.
Hmm.
So if it is in the initial stages, then only maybe counseling, therapy would help the person.
Most of the people ask me that therapies are only for severe mental disorder. Is that true?
Therapy, no, this is not true. It is therapy is a very, very valuable resource that is used by professionals to treat a wide range of issues.
Exactly.
Any, yeah. So any from mild form to severe form. In severe conditions, medicines are given, but then therapy is also to be provided. They go hand in hand in severe cases.
Exactly.
But in mild, it's only therapy. With therapy, the person is, given coping strategies, how what they need to change in their lifestyle, what they need to add on, and also we empower them on how they can manage by themselves, give them emotional support, and of course tools for personal growth. Therapy is needed for everyone. So the earlier the person comes for intervention, faster the recovery.
So, what are the coping strategies to improve our mental health well-being?
Okay, there are many strategies. Very effective one can build our resilience. Each one can build their resilience, and what is resilience is the coping ability of a person to bounce back from a challenging situation or a crisis. How to increase resilience is again a lot of lifestyle factors we need to change and
Hmm.
work upon. That is same like how we need to do for the coping strategies, like mind body connection. We can increase our mind body connection, build that with
How we
our,
can increase, ma'am?
yeah, there are a lot of tools like breath work is the most important. We can
Okay.
we all breathe at all times, 24/7, but we can learn a very focused sort of breathing where it helps to center the mind and bring awareness to the present moment, and also helps in regulating our nervous system. Refocus breathing, and it's very easy. I mean, it's a cheap tool. It's free. It's a free tool. We have our breath right under our noses, right? It's just to learn the proper way. That's it. And the other tools are again learn some meditation or mindfulness techniques, and this goes a very long way to help us. Again, bringing a very balance and stability to our life with lot of grace.
Hmm.
And again, for mindfulness, it's like being We hear this word a lot nowadays, mindfulness, mindfulness. So क्या है
True, true.
mindfulness? Is just
Huh.
being in the present moment, in the now, with just with awareness, and there's no judgment. Just be in the present moment. Then also the one more tool enhance the self awareness. एक good lifestyle mantra है हम we can adopt is that our diet, our exercise habits. Exercise is physical exercise plus our breathing exercises that we spoke about, and also our relaxation techniques and meditation mindfulness. These are the like mantra we have to adopt in our life for everything.
True.
And sleep is a topmost factor which is really ignored by our at the present time.
So, how much sleep do we require?
Here, average normal adult needs about 7 to 8 hours sleep. Yeah? Some few can do with 6 hours, but not all. So 7 to 8 hours, and not more than 8.
Lot of people find meditation very difficult, including me. मैं भी ट्राई करते मेडिटेशन करने का, बट कभी कभी मुझे लगता है मैं बहुत ज़्यादा एग्जॉस्ट हो रहा हूँ. So, what can be the solution for it?
You can start very small. For beginners, you can just sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, yeah? And then increase it slowly with practice. You need lot of practice for it. ये बहुत टाइम लगता है इसको डेवलप करने में ये प्रैक्टिस को. So that's why most people give up very easily.
How we can help a loved one who is struggling through mental health?
Okay, so some ways to support a loved one or a colleague or a friend is listen to them carefully. Listen when they are speaking, and
True.
not try to fix anything or find any solution. They just communicate and initiate a conversation where you can be very honest conversation, and whatever they are going through about their issue. Encourage them to share their feelings and whatever is bothering them. Be very mindful of the words and your responses that you use. Be empathetic with them, validate what they're saying, and show unconditional support. Do not be judgmental. Just like ये ठीक है, ये नहीं है, any moral issues. Just be non-judgmental and listen. Keep them busy. Keep them busy to distract them from getting negative thoughts and feelings. Again, like you can go with them for a nature walk or whatever they like to do, like some activity. If they like to play some game, sports or gym, accompany them, be with them, so that they feel yes, he's there with me, he or she. So engage them as much as possible with physical activity, and reassure them that it's okay to not be okay, and it's a sign of strength to be able to talk about it. And be patient, as there are no quick fixes for this. It takes time. Sometimes there can be relapses, even if they are undergone therapy. It can take time, and they can be relapsed. So be very patient with someone in the family, and give them your total support. And if they have to visit a doctor or go for therapy session, you can accompany them there if they would like. These are some ways we can support.
But what if they are not opening about their problem?
It's okay. So all cannot open or would not like to open immediately. So it's okay. You can just say, if you have asked and if they don't want to share, you can just say, it's okay. I'm there. I'm here for you. So whenever you need me, you can contact me. Just leave it at that. And this is the best mental support you can provide.
So, as we are going towards the end of our podcast, I would like to know how the future of mental health will look like.
We can really move forward in this field, because this mental health is the calling of the hour, and we need to work. And I hope we can see the three stages that, a stage of awareness, prevention, and then empowerment. So the awareness stage, we can say people are now becoming more aware. Organizations and individuals are also coming forward. We've seen celebrities come and talking about their own experiences. That has helped a lot in improving the awareness and people coming out and speaking. But we do hope people can come out and speak without fear and stigma. We can only say that each and every individual pays attention to their own self-awareness, self-love, or self-care that we call, and thus increase their own mind-body connection, resilience, coping ability.
So, is self care is like being selfish?
No, not at all. To care for oneself is not that we are taking care, we like enjoying, partying. That you're having a proper taking care of yourself to have a healthy lifestyle. Yeah? Where you take care of your nutrition, your exercise, your technique, meditation, relaxation technique. So only when you are fit and you lead a meaningful and fulfilling life, that you can be of use and help to your near dear ones and people around. So it's not selfish. So okay, this is the first part of awareness that we hope we can bring in society and we see in every individual. And then the next part would be the prevention and promotion of mental health in our society, and it begins from home, where every parent, would be parent or caregivers, be more aware of how to have good well-being. See, there are individuals, there are doctors, psychiatrists, organizations, NGOs working towards this. So I hope we can promote about mental health so we have more professionals and more awareness, the fear and stigma, like we spoke earlier, from at school level, college level, how we can have more peer support groups, which really works well. Then you can also have at school level, college level, promote child and adolescent health policies, like ban on certain hazardous products. They are very freely available in our country. Then responsible media reporting, suicide prevention awareness, and at society level we can help. We can free the mental health stigma. Workplace biases can be removed, because workplace में इतना fear होता है लोगों को कि अगर पता चल गया मेरे मैनेजर को बहुत, I will lose my job अगर मेरे colleague ने कुछ report कर दिया, देख लिया. So this fear is always there, inbuilt in them. Whoever's through any mental health issue. So we need to give proper education and support. Then access to care and treatment is the way we can empower the individuals, is addressing the needs of the people who are suffering right now, and have more centers and organized teams of professionals who can visit schools, colleges, orphanages, various organizations to spread more awareness. Prisons, then supported living for our elderly. It will take time, it will take many years, but we can build it slowly.
I hope this video was very helpful to our audience. We heard about mind-body connection, stigmas, myths, and many more. So, any last line, ma'am, you want to say to our audience?
I would only say to our youngsters and the youth that you're the upcoming future generation. Come out from your isolation and loneliness to a life of connection and belongingness.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your time.
Welcome, Shiva. My pleasure. Thank you for having me once.